Greetings, fencers. So today is about how to land our master cuts or counterattacks in general, and how to start drilling it to see the opening, in order to allow us to land these more consistently. The first thing we need to realize is that attacks don't start from nowhere. People often start drilling by having someone stand at front of them and make a cut, and then we go for our counter cut. If a fencer is skilled, then if they reach the distance where they go for a committed attack, they will probably hit before a counterattack can be finished. Action is always faster than reaction. So once people are fencing, if you're sitting with your sword on your shoulder and you wait for their sword cut to start, it will probably be too late. Sure, you'll sometimes get it, but the success rate will be lower, and more often it's only going to work if there's a large speed or skill difference between the two fencers. But don't worry, that's not a major problem. You don't have to be the fastest fencer to land counterattacks. Regardless of a fencer's skill, they cannot teleport from out of distance to the distance where they would land a cut. And this brings us to our tactic that we must learn to recognize and also use for ourselves. That is, preparation. Preparation is generally the foot or sword motion someone does before their arms extend for their actual attack. The main goal is to get close enough that your attack can land. Here I take my preparation step to get close enough, then I prepare my sword and get into a charged position. Then my arms extend and I use a leaning pass to hit. So here we have a very large preparation step to get close enough. As the foot lands, the arms start extending for the actual attack, and he uses a leaning passing step as the actual attacking step. Here the left foot prepares, then the arms extend, hitting with a passing step. Here is a tiny preparation step that orients my foot and gets me the inch closer I need before the actual attack. Here my preparation step is an advancing step with both feet, then I lunge with the attack. Here the preparation step is an advance of one foot, then the lunge with the attack. You will find some form of preparation in almost every single sword exchange, especially with an attacker and a defender. The only time it isn't going to be present is if people are just stationary. In longsword fencing, one of the most common forms of preparation is the advance of the front foot right before the pass. And done well, this is one smooth motion that leads into your attack, so there generally is no pause. Someone is safe and out of distance, then they step pass with their cut. And it's hard to see the difference between the preparation and the attack, but it is always going to be there in some way, until people learn to teleport. Some fencers learn to hide it with footwork, some hide it with sword feints, but it's always there. So in order to start landing our counterattacks more consistently, we can start drilling to attack right when we see that advance. Our training partner will advance the front foot, keeping their sword retracted, and slowly start their cut. And we strike. So our trigger is when they step, not when they start their sword swing. This exchange may look like two attacks simultaneous, if we freeze in the middle, but this was actually my attack in prep, and his failed counterattack. Here Max is bringing his back foot forward, and right as he lifts his front foot, you can see me start my attack. My arms are able to fully extend before his, and I hit before his sword touches mine. Here my partner pulls their sword back and I know they're about to cut, so I start my cut as their foot is stepping. I get my arms extended first and hit, then their attack happens and we get this neutral bind. Here I start my Tonhao on his step. I get my arms extended first, and I don't need more range because he's attacking me. Then we see the bind covering the attack. And so even though my arms extended first and I attacked on his preparation, I only made this choice because I wanted to counterattack him. So it can make it hard to tell who's attacking and who's counterattacking. These are a few examples of counters where the hit lands before the swords touch, using the step as the trigger to get there first. And these are a few actual attack on preparations, where it's early enough that the other person didn't get their attack off, or switch to a parry. With point forward fencing, the most common preparation is a step lunge, or step-step lunge, where both feet move on the advance. And it can be drilled the same way. Our partner steps while keeping their arms bent, pause, and then slowly lunges with the attack. Our goal is to attack right when we see the first step, before the lunge and arms. And then add movement, distance management, increase the speed, and then put the trigger in sparring. When we hit first, then it's an attack in preparation, and when the attacks are closer to simultaneous, then it's a counterattack. Thanks for watching, keep studying, keep practicing.